Thank you very much indeed. 13-year-old Sonia Forsyth disappeared in 1991. Her remains were found 5 years later in a coal bunker. Tonight we can reveal that her brutal murder is now linked to a forgotten scandal first exposed by UTV of human tissue which was retained without consent.
Sonia's family has now broken years of silence to reveal that some of her body parts were kept by the authorities without the consent of her loved ones. Our crime and security correspondent Sharon O'Neill has this exclusive report. Viewers are warned they may find some details distressing.
Prior to 2006, it wasn't custom and practice to routinely advise family members of retention of human tissue. The process of informing families has started. I'm not going to talk about the reaction of any of those families. We have offered to those families personally, and we'll do it publicly today, an apology for the upset that has been caused to them.
More than a decade on, after all the apologies, this scandal is still playing out.
The whole thing has been awful for Sonia, and she deserves just to be able to rest in peace and be left alone, and we don't really feel like she has that chance now because she's not buried whole.
The murder of Sonia Forsyth, one of the most infamous in Northern Ireland.
Since Sonia's disappearance, there have been numerous reports that she'd been seen alive.
The 13-year-old mysteriously vanished from her home off the Shankill in West Belfast in the summer of 1991. The brutal reality of what happened to Sonia not realised until almost 5 years later, when workmen discovered her remains wrapped in a blanket and dumped in a coal bunker beneath the flat she was murdered in.
We have been with the family tonight, who we have been working with, and we feel for them and we grieve for them. And we will certainly be doing everything in our power to bring to justice the person responsible for this.
That was James Jr. McKinstry. He served a life sentence and is now out in licence. He's the reason Sonia's sister doesn't want to show her face.
She was a 13-year-old child. She didn't deserve that death, and she didn't deserve to be forgotten about for 16 years by the authorities.
The flat where Sonia met such a violent death is long gone, and the courts have long since dealt with this case. But we can now reveal some of her body parts were kept by the authorities without the consent of those closest to her. And in the end, they were forced to bury her not once, but 3 times. Sonia's mother, Audrey, here with the daughter she adored, knew they were keeping part of her skull for investigative purposes.
5 years after she was first buried, her skull was placed with her, and we thought that would be her maybe at peace now, able to rest and full, her body complete, but it wasn't.
Nikki, only 13 months old when her sister disappeared. She was 21 in 2012 when the authorities told them they had more of Sonia's body parts, this time without their permission.
For me, growing up, I was wondering why she wasn't coming back to play with me and stuff. And, for the 3rd burial I was there, and I got to see firsthand the distress that not only my mummy but the whole family went through. Everyone, mum, me, aunts, uncles, cousins, they were all crying. To us it wasn't just a couple of body parts, it was Sonia.
Since then, Sonia's loved ones had been battling with the authorities through the civil courts.
We're thankful to families such as Sonia's family for having the courage to speak out and also having the courage to go through very lengthy, drawn-out legal processes. It isn't pretty. It also compounds the distress, it brings back memories, but unfortunately that's a route they've taken, they've had to take, and it is one way and an important way to expose this scandalous process that went on for too long.
A loving daughter, devoted sister, cruelly robbed of life, and her family maintain, even betrayed in death. Sharon O'Neill,